Let's see. All right, I think we are live. Sports fans, what's going on? Patrick over here at Ghost Picks ATS coming at you with an episode of Keep It Rollin', the podcast with a twist, the golf betting podcast with a twist, with my guy Moff Dollars. Moff Dollars, tell him what's going on.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining us. What is going on? What are you laughing at? Oh, we're up and running. Okay. Let me mute this in the background. No technical difficulties tonight. Unfortunately, everyone, we did have some great content for you ready to go yesterday. It was not captured. It was captured in spirit. We had a good talk for the most part. Unfortunately, you guys don't get to hear any of it, so we get to recap right now. Welcome. Thank you for joining. This week, we've got the Honda Classic at PGA National down in Florida. We're dealing with a Tom Fazio design this week. Pat.
Well, what's going on? Yeah, so that one was on me. Video last night. You know, that live stuff. I'm always messing up. I'm still new to it. I've been doing these videos for about a year and a half, but I've only been going live for about maybe a month. So, give me a break there. But, yeah, Moff and I recorded about a 45-minute video yesterday. That went nowhere. So we got it already down. We're going to go quick little summary of what we're going to be going over. It is the Honda Classic at PGA National, one of the toughest courses. But we'll be talking about that in order. We're kind of going to go with, the course layout, guys that fit the course, some past winners, some common trends, and then we'll get into some of the guys that we like later on as the video progresses. And we'll work through some DFS lineups as well. That I know Moff already has a couple. I'm going to build one live on air today with some of the guys that we're looking at. So I think with no further ado, Moff, you want to get on into a little bit of PGA National?
Yeah, absolutely. And before I do, real quick, did we say last night or was it after the recap that we're going to do a competition? We said we're going to do a competition. DFS, me and you.
No, we were talking about that last. That was
so
in our video yesterday.
The people
that didn't get recorded, so we'll talk about that.
Okay, unfortunately. Okay. All right, fair enough. All right, well, guys, this week, as Pat mentioned, PGA National, one of the toughest venues outside of the major venues, playing toughest 5 out of the last 7 years. There's only 2 par 5s this week. It's a par 70 golf course. So the Bombers and those guys who are taking advantage of the 3, 4 par 5s, maybe not as of an advantage this week. We're down there on the water, gusty winds, sand traps everywhere. There's plenty of places for you to lose strokes and cause mayhem. And that's going to be the name of the game this week for a lot of people, I think, is avoid trouble and staying out of these places. You just can't hit it. Let's see, moderate rough down there. These guys aren't going to get penalized for hitting into the rough. They're going to get penalized for losing their golf balls.
Yeah, no doubt.
The 3 toughest holes on the course are the closing stretch, the bear trap, notorious 15, 16, 17, 2 par 3s, about 175 to 200 yards each. And it's a tough close. You got a lot, like we talked about, guys coming down the stretch Saturday, Sunday. They got money on the line. They got emotions going, and they got some unruly shots over water to some tight greens, and it's a lot for the nerves.
People already struggle enough on Sundays. We talk about that, Moff. We talked about it this week. Both Cameron Young and Joaquin Niemann, neither one of them gained on the field. The field gained on them. And this week, and that was on not an easy course, but this week, same thing with those nerves coming down 15, 16, 17, 18, some like the hardest stretch in golf. So closing out on that on Sunday or on Saturday, we could see guys on Saturday that really looking like they're in contention and then give it away before they even get to Sunday. So that'll be some interesting things to keep an eye on there, and we'll be all over that. Part of what we're looking into is bogey avoidance, keeping the ball clean. This is one of these courses where you're losing a little bit of value without, bombing the ball, but not as nearly as much as you do when Moff, like Moff said, you got to keep your ball dry. Shout out Manscaped. But other than that, we're looking for guys that keep the ball low, or me particularly. I like guys that can keep the ball low, play different kind of shots, and prefer these tighter fairways and whatnot. So it's funny because me and Moff are already doing this. We already said all this exact same stuff. I was talking about the nationalities of guys and how specific guys of nationality play well at certain courses, certain types of venues. Last week I'm talking to Moff and I'm like, dude, look at the fucking Scots over there, like all the Scots, Russell Knox, Robert McIntyre, then there's one more, all three of them. There's only three Scots, dudes from Scotland, and all three of them were in the top 15.
Lowry's Irish, isn't he? Lowry's Irish.
But they were all in the top 15 last week at a tough course. It's just one of those things. And this week I think we see the same things. Those guys like the Irish and the Europeans play these kind of courses well, windy, tight courses, and that shows with the odds. There's 7 out of the top 10 guys are foreigners as far as the odds go, and the other 3 that are Americans went to Florida State, and Florida. So locals or Europeans, which is an interesting combination. But that's something, you got to look at the lines that that's the kind of stuff we see. Whether it's Alex Noren, Shane Lowry, Tommy Fleetwood, a crazy name that's up there this week. He hasn't played like damn near any golf, but both times he's played here.
Love Tommy.
Crazy. I love Tommy this week, but I hate his odds. So I won't be touching him, not with the 10-foot pole, but he's a guy that could,
DFS.
Maybe I don't know. I think he'll probably be popularly owned, and that's not my style. But Fleetwood's hit or miss. He's finished top 5 here and top 10. He's on a decent stretch over in Saudi Arabia. So we'll see about that one, Moff. But let's get on into a little bit of what kind of golfers fit this course in particular. What you think over there?
Yes.
Mr. Golf guy.
Some of the stuff that's popped out, shout out Rick Rungood, our new source for some golf data, nice and organized. But some of the stuff that popped out this week, guys that can putt, obviously, and Bermuda greens, how they play on these Bermuda greens. Last few weeks on the West Coast, we've had that Poana grass. And now we're switching over to a style of greens that are cut for particular players. They favor them on a consistent basis. We're looking for guys that can scramble because, like we said, there's tons of trouble out here all over the place. Good ball strikers. You like guys that keep it low. Good ball strikers can do that because they can control the trajectory of their flights, flight their irons, battle that wind, and be able to hit more accurate golf shots. Let's see. Sand save percentage. There's a lot of sand out there, and that's one that I kind of added to the list. I think it can kind of go with scrambling, but sand save percentage and club head speed. Guys, if it's going to be windy, guys with some club head speed can cut right through that shit. And, if you hit it like Luke Donald, you're going to struggle.
Who are we thinking about there? Guys like who? Who's beating down a course?
Brooks.
A guy like Brooks?
He's not accurate enough. So that's, unless he's hitting these fairways, guys that hit it far enough, to have an advantage, but are still accurate. And can contain that thing. Brooks can get wild, and he will be penalized if he gets too wild out there.
All right, well, who are we talking then? Who's got that power and accuracy combo? That's it's a rare combination.
And I have a couple guys here. I didn't want to start off with Lucas, but my guy Lucas Glover is extremely accurate off the tee, and he pokes it out there consistently about 300 yards. And the dude has won. He won his major at Bethpage Black. He plays well at the tough courses. And if you want to look at his record, he's been on my mind all week. Ever since he popped out, he's been on my mind all week. Lucas Glover. What is he? 19th miscut in COVID year, 4th, 17th, and 21. The dude plays golf well here. South Carolina kid, similar style courses, and went to Clemson. Not too awfully far. It ain't close, but whatever. We're in the Bible Belt. And some other guys out there, Keith Mitchell, fairly accurate off the tee and bombs it.
Bombs it.
Let's see. I got some other guys. Billy. I like Billy, not long off the tee.
Hey, no, Billy, that's what I'm saying. So these guys, in particular, a guy like Lucas Glover, Billy Horschel, even Daniel Berger, they are consistently driving the ball straight, and they have enough power. This isn't a course where you need to, like we said earlier, you don't need to dominate it lengthwise. Like accuracy and good shots will do the trick. Obviously having it is important to be good off the tee. Some of the top guys every single year, consistently, about 80% of the guys in the top 15 are good driver, whether it's consistently straight or whatnot. They don't have to be bombers, but we see those guys like Lucas Glover, Billy Horschel, Daniel Berger. As long as you hit it consistently straight and you're hitting out of the fairway and you have enough distance to get around some of the curves and tree lines and over some of those dangerous bunkers that are sitting at like 270.
Shit, Sung Jae.
Oh yeah, Sung Jae, no doubt. Sung Jae is. We're not going to talk about him much on here this week. He's like the clear favorite. There's nothing we're missing on Sung Jae. Like, he's a clear favorite for a reason. He's nasty, but the odds in a tournament like this, I don't like Sung Jae. He plays every week. I think for him to have those odds, on Sunday he'll be a guy I'm looking to fade. Ideally, he has a nice first 3 days and maybe even has a lead, and we'll be looking to maybe fade him. But I'm not huge on Sung Jae this week at his odds, though this is a great course for him. He's playing well. Just the odds are just not good enough in my opinion. Like I said in the video last night that no one saw. Guys in that 40 to like 70,000 range, 40 to 7,000 range, plus 40, plus 70 range. That's kind of where I'm looking this week, 30 to 70. And I think one of those guys in there is going to win. One that in particular pops in my mind, Jonathan Vegas. Moff, I didn't say anything about him the other day. Haven't said anything about him at all. But we talk about guys that bomb the ball and have accuracy. Jonathan Vegas.
Big facts. He's on the list. He was going to get mentioned for the DFS lineups, but another consistent player. I just don't know how to use him this week. There's guys, and you got to find the odds and the juice and find out how to use this information.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. So that's what I'm saying. As far as like the bomber goes, someone like Jonathan Vegas, he's definitely on my radar because he hits it long, but he's one of the most accurate long drivers. Him and Sung Jae are off the tee. They're probably gonna be two of the best this week. But the difference in the two, Sung Jae is like 13-1 odds to win, while Jonathan Vegas, 55-1. So
big facts.
That's what I'm looking for. A guy like that, boom or bust, hits those fairways. He bombs the ball enough. He's played well in the Olympics and some big events, tougher courses. So on the radar, he's never one missed cut. I think one missed cut in like 10 years, and that was including playing as like a junior. So Sir Jonathan Vegas from where's Vegas from? Is he Venezuelan?
Great question. He's American.
Huh?
I think. Is Jonathan Vegas not American?
No.
No.
Venezuelan, correct. Bingo, bango. He did go to Texas though, so hook him.
Jonathan.
He's nasty. Big fan of Jonathan. I like his numbers. I love his odds this week. So that's somebody who's on my radar and could work his way into my top picks. But Moff, what else we got over there? What are we looking at for this course? What other guys can do it? So we got the bombers. We got them out of the way. Just a couple of them. We started beating around that bush. But we see a guy like last year who won it, Matt Jones. What are some of these other guys that consistently are ranking these top 20 have that you can also do to score here?
Let's see. I was playing well right now. He's not necessarily a bomber off the tee, but the more I look into him, Denny McCarthy is playing well right now. Finished third here last year. I got to pull up his profile because he was at the top of my list, but the last of to get investigated. But hold on, I might have talked about it. I'm all over the place because I tried to gather what we said last night and.
Yeah, same. It has been tough for me this episode, trying not to repeat stuff I said too, but then again, it never got out. So trying to be more efficient while getting it out there. Just
sure.
Fire away, Moff.
Let's see. We'll go another guy, Mackenzie Hughes. He's not a big bomber, but consistently well here. I don't know. I mean, CT Pan, not a bomber.
Yeah, there you go. Talk about your guy. You ain't gotta say nothing. Who you like this week? Tell him who you like. That's what I was trying to get at.
CT's my guy. Oh, he was trying to hook me. That's what he's trying to do, guys. So if you follow us on Twitter, I think we got maybe 5 followers, but I did tweet this out. So the only 2 people in the last couple years to finish top 20 at the Genesis and then top 10 here at the Honda Classic, one was Matt Jones, who won last year and finished 8th at the Genesis in 2021, and CT Pan finished 17th last year and finished oh shit, this was my stat.
It was your stat.
He finished well third. Finished third. Yes. Finished 17th and finished third last year. Finished 9th at the Genesis this year. Just last week. He doesn't flash on the stat sheet.
Hey,
how many at all?
Driving accuracy, he's up there. He pokes it out there a moderate way. He ranks up there on the let me see, like 28th, I do believe was his number. Yes, 28th in good drive percentage and like top 50 off the tee. So, hey.
So that's a good stat. I said I was going to try and find a good stat. That's a good stat. And when guys don't flash like that and they don't have a clear-cut edge, one thing you can be sure of is their mental game is strong. Their course management game is good. And he plays well at good or tough golf courses due to that. You have to know where you can miss it and where you can't. And I have to imagine he has some pretty good control and consistency in his game, predictable, and he knows his limits. He knows what he cannot do and what he can. And I think that's why we like the Pan man. CT Pan, I think, Pat, plus 340 for the top 20, a dark horse to pop up and win it.
Yeah, that's Moff's guy. I got to look a little more into it. I can't lie to you to go ahead and lock it as a consensus.
Just playing well.
But,
hey,
CT, he fits a lot of the things you're looking for. Moff, how's he put on Bermuda? Now, that's major key. So what I said,
not good.
One major thing that we're looking for to gain value on the rest of the people out there, this is brought to you by Big Brain here. We've been playing on the West Coast, which is a completely different type of golf. Different courses, different greens, different everything. Completely different style of golf. So guys that have been playing well on that kind of style of golf are maybe a little bit overvalued, and guys that haven't been putting as well or, missing, playing a little bit just slightly below their average, those guys could be undervalued. A guy like Jonathan Vegas is somebody that pops in particular.
Gary Woodland.
He's a terrible putter, absolutely terrible putter on POA, but he's coming back to Bermuda this week where he's an average putter. And when you got a guy like that who's like a top 20, top 15 guy, as far as ball striking goes, and then you put him on this kind of grass, hey. So a guy like CT Pan, Moff, CT, he's about as good as it gets as far as like consistent, just like scrapping out things go. This past week at the Genesis, he did not hit the ball well, yet he finished top 10.
Scrapped.
He gained 5 strokes putting, which is amazing, and 4 strokes around the greens. Yeah, so Moff, there's no way I'm locking up as my top guy, but Godspeed with that. But if you look at him, some of these tough tournaments, 3rd place in the Olympics, tougher course. The Honda Classic last year, tough course, 3rd place. Wells Fargo, not an easy one. A couple of these tougher courses, he does show out.
Fuck no, Quail Hollow.
A Masters tournament, so CT is an interesting one. He is as much boom or bust, but as far as odds go, to get somebody like CT Pan in the top 10, that could be a long shot of the week. Moff, we got to give him, like a fair amount of long shots. And that's definitely, I think, one of your top ones.
That's a long shot.
I like where you're looking there. He's kind of a boomer bust guy if you look at him. And you look at him, especially here, where he's got 2 missed cuts, a top 20 and a 3rd place. So, but coming off a 9th place last week, we could have a little bit of a hot hand. But he's in that area, Moff, that I was talking about, that 60, 30 to 70 to 1 odds to win. He's in there. Denny McCarthy, your other guy, in there. But if you look at Moff, tell me what you think about this. A lot of these guys that have been great here kind of repeat here. This is one of these kind of courses. Lucas Glover, 2 4th places. That's kind of crazy.
I give the people Lucas Glover.
So you like the people that you think they're going to keep it going? Brendan Steele, Lucas Glover. You think they're going to ride the hot hand?
I think I look at the Honda Classic like I do our hometown tournament, the Wyndham Championship, and you do have guys that just consistently come in. I'm talking about like just a smaller tournament with a smaller field, guys that come in and consistently play well. I think of like, Jesus. Sorry, guys. You guys saw what I was doing off camera. Brent Snedeker. He's always around the Wyndham. He's been playing for years. Things like that. But, yeah, Lucas Glover, Stuart Sink, Charles Schwartzel. These are guys who have played a ton of golf here, always make the cut, and they're just hanging around. It's golf. Anybody can have a couple of hot days. But Lucas Glover is playing hot. He's playing well now. A couple 30ths this year, and he plays this course well. He doesn't putt the greatest, but he's got experience, and I think in a smaller tournament like this, that plays more into it.
Yeah, could it be a more different tournament? Couldn't it be a more different tournament than last week? Last week, all top 10 of the players in the world were all playing last week. This week,
yeah,
it is. I think you have one of the top
5,
2 of the top 20 or something like that. So, completely different fields.
That's
why. What do you say? Okay, Pasa?
Billy, Sungjae, Brooks.
Yeah, those guys are like 40 to 1 odds, 30 to 1 odds at best on any given week. And this week you're catching them at 15, 18 to 1 odds. That's why I don't like them. I don't prefer them. I think this is a great week to find some of those long shots, and that's the avenue I will be attacking. Is I won't be going for any of the kind of basic money. I'll be going for like 150 to 200 plus and trying to find some great value guys, such as maybe a Jonathan Vegas. The more I look at him, the more I'm leaning toward him. Like I said, Moff, more in particular, I'm looking for guys, for me personally, just as far as regression and guys that could pop. I'm looking for guys that putt great on POA, or bad on POA, that putt great on Bermuda. It's just a completely different type of golf, completely different type of game. You can steal strokes. It's amazing how many strokes, from putting. It completely takes a guy like Jonathan Vegas, who has gained strokes. He's been top 10, I think, off the tee every year for the past 45 years. His approach has been nasty, great, and on Bermuda.
Check it out.
So I keep coming back to him.
You want to go the opposite direction. You want to go opposite direction of people that you want to. If you want to talk about people who've never even played the golf course but are fucking freaky on fire right now. I cannot mention my guy Cameron Young. I love Cameron Young this week. He's not the most accurate driver of the golf ball, but he was hanging around last week. Puts well on Bermuda. Mito Pereira. I told you I've heard a lot of hype around the golf betting scene about this young kid. He's got a couple of top 10s already. He's great with his irons. Hits it plenty far off the tee. He's a young stud. These guys don't have a whole lot of experience, but we watched what Will Zalatoris could do last year, almost taking the Masters. We can see these young kids have an early impact, especially on a smaller field. Speaking of young guys, you want to talk about fade of the week? Talk about our fade?
Yeah, so that's a good transition there, Moff. I like that. All right, so the guy that I'm looking at as my top fade of the week is Matthew Wolff. It's somebody I brought up to Moff, and this is one, he's definitely boomer bust. So if he wins, I don't want to hear it. If he goes off, if he putts the ball well, he putts the ball well. But given the numbers, he does not putt great on Bermuda. He's a hit or miss guy. As far as off the tee goes, the guy can bomb the ball. There's no doubt about it. He can hit it a damn mile. But keeping that ball dry on this kind of place is crucial. And on hard courses, I think Matthew Wolff might be number one. I think he might be the furthest driver of the golf ball. So clearly his boomer bust potential is there. But I think it is a clear bust this week. When you're talking like Moff was talking earlier, golf's a mental game. And for a guy, I've never seen anybody more – Moff, you can help me out. Wishy-washy. The dude is up and down. Like he's a scatterbrain. He's nuts. He's a head case. He's an absolute head case. When he's cooking, he's cooking. But when he's not, he hits one bad golf shot Out here, you got to be able to scramble, get up and down. You got to make some things happen. He's not that kind of golfer. And, if he proves me wrong, good hit. Shout out Matthew Wolff. Good for him. But I just don't see it. Maybe I definitely plan on taking him later in the year at a course where we're looking for a bomb or a bomber's course that, you have a little more room. But not today, not this time. I am going to fade Matthew Wolff to miss the cut. I like him in a couple matchups as well. But to miss the cut, he is 1 plus 175. So always good plus money there. Moff, what do you think about that?
I love it. I don't think Matt Wolff's. I don't think he's shown anybody enough this year to think otherwise. Honestly, I mean, he's definitely sketchy. He can come out there and throw it all up in the water. Fade Matthew Wolff.
Well, his last time out here, or last time we saw him out, he did place in sixth place. So it's not like he's in a super bad form.
And he had a mental breakdown.
That was in the Saudi International Tournament. He placed sixth. But I think it's a completely different course. He finished 64th and got cut in his two other tournaments this year. His approach game has been off, and his putting has been very up and down. So he's a guy I'm looking to fade, especially given the odds. I can't say that enough. It's all about odds. The way I look at things, I could care less if a golfer is good. Like Sanjay M, he's a clear lock, but his odds are shit, so I'm not even looking at him. I don't give a damn about him this week. I'm just looking for the best odds, and for a guy like Matthew Wolff being 45-1 in this field, could win. That's not a bad bet at 45-1. Sure, I don't think anything more than top 5 is what I would do as far as money goes, but that's if you like Matthew Wolff. I'm on the fade Matthew Wolff train, so miss cut at plus 175. But really, some of these matchups that we'll be seeing, if I could find them with a Jonathan Vegas in particular, would love to see that at plus money. Or Keith Mitchell, he's right around that area.
Pat?
What is that?
Aaron Wise.
Interesting name.
So Aaron,
great name.
So Aaron has not missed the cut in the last 5 years.
Is that like?
So I had this list. We talked about it yesterday. But I had this list of just guys avoid missing the cut the last 5 years. Aaron Wise, Charles Schwartzel, Gary Woodland, who hasn't been playing well now, but that could pop up and finish top 10. Jonathan Vegas, our guy. Matt Jones, Nick Watney, Shane Lauer, we talked about him. Stuart Sink, Steady Goes It. I swear, what's his name? Lucas Glover would be on this list if it weren't for COVID-19. That's the only reason he didn't miss. And so.
Hear me out here. Cool, great name, Aaron Wise. Almost what I was saying. These are guys we're looking for. He loses exponentially more strokes, almost 3 times as many strokes on POA as he does on any other surface putting. So Moff, go ahead and take the rest. He's much better on Bermuda, so he's probably a little undervalued because of the tournaments that he's played in this year. I think he's played terribly, and that has been at the Genesis, the Phoenix Open, and the Farmers Insurance. I do believe 2 out of 3 are definitely POA. Moff, the Farmers, top of the head.
I think it's Bermuda, but Pebble Beach is POA.
Well, he gained on the Farmers Insurance. He gained a little bit putting, so that's a good sign.
Because it's different greens.
Aaron Wise, definitely. You know what? Fire him up 100%. Actually, Moff, that might be, depending what we're looking at. That could be like a lock of the week type thing somewhere along the line. If we could find a good enough odds.
Aaron Wise and Brendan Steele. These are just guys I don't know.
Brendan Steele, in my opinion, is a little more. That's a basic bitch pick. You see somebody. If I look at
Aaron Wise is not.
Aaron Wise is not. If I look at Brendan Steele, all I got to look at is this dude's finished in his last 6 times here. He's got an 11th. 2 14ths, a miscut, and then a 4th and a 3rd in the last 2 years. I think that's a little bit. I mean, don't get me wrong. At 100-1 odds, we're going to play him at a long shot to place top 20. There's no doubt about it. But that's a basic pick. I don't love it. He's coming off 4 straight miscuts. On the flip side, you got a guy like Aaron Wise. Moff, he's sitting right in that beautiful range. He's at 60-1. He's finished in his 3 times here: 33rd, 35th, and 13th. Coming off of 3 tournaments where he hasn't had his best putter gang because he hasn't been on his best surface. And this is the one where he ranks probably in the top 20, I'd say. He's off the tee. He's good. He's relatively, accurate off the tee as well. So a guy like Aaron Wise. Yes, sir. I love it. Love it. Good call, Moff. That's what we're here for. I like that a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
let's find some odds.
Okay, and he hits. So I was telling y'all the bear trap 2 par 3s between like 175, 200 yards. Aaron Wise, that is one of his best areas of iron play. Also, his approaches like 120, 150 yards. So those mid irons, he's good. 22nd in eagles per hole. Putts per round. He's not only 33 putts per round.
I'll tell you,
he's playing. He's solid.
Eagles per hole. You throw that out the window.
Well, I know there's only 2 par 5s.
Yeah.
But how many are these? Or is he holing out? I mean, if he's,
let me see. Aaron Wise for
strokes gained approach to green is up
on
there.
On FanDuel, Aaron Wise to place top 20 is plus 220. Now that is right about where we have been looking at. Last week, our lock of the week was DJ at minus 115 and Max Homa at plus 220. So 1 out of 2, but at plus 221 hits. So ROI, profit. That's what we're looking for. So we're looking to get back in that range. Jonathan Vegas, he is also plus 220. That might, I might have to convince Moff into doing the consensus. If not, we might have to work our way into, there's not many in that range. KH Lee Moff. Oh, man. My guy.
Lucas is at plus 340.
Lucas Glover. That's an interesting one.
Give me the juice.
That's a Moff long shot for sure.
Give me the juice in a sippy cup.
What would Juicy J say about that?
A juice in a sippy cup. We're getting glovered up. That's all I know. We're getting glovered up.
Yeah, you can glover up all you want. All right, so let's wrap it up here.
DFS.
Or should we do a DFS and our should we do a summary thing tomorrow with a DFS, or should we go ahead and fire that up now?
We can do a summary, more content. These people are tired of listening to us banter.
I couldn't agree more. All right, so let's give them a little wrap up of what we got today. Course is playing tough as hell. Moff, you want to talk about it for 30 seconds over there? Give them a breakdown real quick.
I mean, yeah, the course is down on the water in Florida. We got water, we got wind, we got sand. Not a long one. I think, 7,000 yards, par 70. We need guys that hit the fairway, that can, they play well on Bermuda greens, good putters, good scramblers, good mid-irons, guys that can control it in this wind. Those are anyone who fits somewhat, or just plain old good course managers who stays out of trouble, who plays well at course or tough courses. And that's what we like. And consistency always helps. Anybody who's played multiple tournaments and shows that they can do the same thing every time because it's a course they like, it's a course they know, i.e. Lucas Glover.
All right. So, Muff, since we're not giving them our lock of the week on this one, let's go ahead and give them some good content here. Let's go ahead and fire off our long shots of the week right here, as well as some of the picks to win, and our fade of the week, which we do have already locked in. Fade of the week, I'll start with that one. We're going Matt Wolff, fade of the week. Miss the cut, matchups. He's boom or bust. Anything plus odds against him, I like him. Same with Moff Dollars. He agrees completely off the tee. He's a little shaky. He hits it further than anybody, but here it's more about accuracy, and he's a head case as well. So don't mess up out here. Then we got some long shots. I'll start with my top 2 long shots that I'm looking at to win. I like Jonathan Vegas. That's going to be my guy I'm riding this week. I think he's got great boom or bust potential. So coming back East Coast, lower subtropical climate, that's Venezuelan Jonathan Vegas. I like him at 55-1, 60-1 odds to win. I definitely like him top 20 as well. That may be a lock of the week tomorrow if I can convince him off. So keep that in mind there. We'll check that one out. Definitely like him to win though. And then my other guy, long shot. Oh, Moff, I think this is Moff and I both agree with this one, and I'll lead you into this one, Moff. Aaron Wise, I'm gonna take him. I think he's got the boomer bust potential. There's no doubt about it. I'm gonna take him top 5 at some good odds.
Hasn't been playing well recently, but
give us a
so
couple.
we can So I mean, if we're gonna go long shots, I love Gary Woodland as a long shot because this dude can bomb it, and if he gets in a groove, he just hasn't been playing well at all. He finished 39th at the Farmers. Not terrible. He was hanging around with Brooks, his boy, first 2 rounds. So I think that's why he was playing well, honestly. And hey, whoa, hold up now. Now Brooks and him are in. They're both down here in a small field. Brooks's brother is here. This might be a bro fest, and they all might be top. They might just be ringing this thing home like Captain's Choice style. I didn't even think about that. We're talking about a bunch of – watch out now. Okay, Brooks Koepka and Gary Woodland might just steal the whole show this weekend, actually, now that I think about it. Gary Woodland, great long shot, plays well here. He's on that list that hadn't missed a cut in the last 5 years. Or excuse me, no, he's not on that list.
60 to 1 odds to win. He's in that range.
He's on both the lists. He hasn't missed a cut, and he's finished top 10 at least twice in the last 5 years. So
he's a better putter on Bermuda than Poa. Poa is his worst surface, so he has been playing on Poa, which is another bonus in my opinion. Just get him a little notch up there.
Second long shot.
Actually, Gary hasn't been hitting the ball too hot. That's I don't know how I feel about Gary.
He's a long shot.
Long shot. Hey, that's you.
And I think my second long shot, I think I'm gonna go Mackenzie Hughes. I think if the dude, we're gonna go Mackenzie Hughes. Finished second here a couple years ago. Missed a couple. Well, he did miss Genesis. Yeah, long shot. Poana Greens.
55 to 1. You got anything longer than that? Who's your long one? Your long one is.
What do you consider? Yeah, what's long enough? I mean, what's
that? Schwartzel.
I mean, yeah, Schwartzel will be long as fuck. I don't like that though. That's not. If you want long, you guys want the longest of long, then we're going Wesley Bryan, who is in the field this week. Has not been very healthy in years. I actually tried to inquire on his form via Instagram. I got no response. Hopefully we can change that. Brian Bros Golf. If you're watching, would love to keep tabs on Wesley, local guy. Provide some content, big content guys, the Brian Bros, but he's won a similar tournament. I'd have to look it up, but a Florida golf tournament. He plays well down here. If he's healthy, the dude could. I mean, that's the longest of long. Look it up. I mean,
all right.
His odds are the juice is probably there to not even make. To make the cut is probably pretty good juice.
All right. Well, I'm gonna leave you on. I'm going to leave you off on my guy. I'm going to run it back. Same thing I said.
CT Pan's not long enough.
He's longer than the other ones that you've mentioned over there.
Oh, well, then CT Pan. I don't know what – whatever you classify.
By week 15, maybe Moff will learn. Got to look at the odds. This is a betting show.
CT then, longest of shots. That's my guy. I already got him. I got money on CT to win it.
All right, fair enough. Everybody good? Like, comment, subscribe. We'll have some content for you tomorrow, some good stuff, including our lock of the week deep dive. Moff and I will do a little picking tonight and come to our consensus picks for tomorrow. With that being said, I think that's about all she wrote. Good luck. God bless. Grind on. Let's keep it rolling. Moff?
Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings. We are out of here.
Out of here.
Let's go, John.